Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this conversation, Andy seeks advice from his teacher on how to improve his spoken English, specifically focusing on casual slang and expressions. Andy is eager to sound more natural in everyday conversations, particularly when speaking with friends, colleagues, and even strangers. The teacher provides insights into how to understand, use, and differentiate between various slang expressions and casual phrases, emphasizing the importance of context, tone, and delivery. Key expressions like "what's up?", "hang in there," and "that's lit" are explored in depth, alongside tips on transitioning smoothly between topics and how to engage in casual conversations effectively.
Hi, teacher. I've been thinking about improving my spoken English, especially when it comes to slang and casual expressions. Do you have any advice on how to sound more natural in everyday conversations?
Great question, Andy. To sound natural, you need to focus on fluency rather than just grammar. Using slang or colloquial phrases is key, but it's also important to understand the context and the tone of these expressions. One way to start is by listening to native speakers in casual settings like TV shows, podcasts, or even social media. This helps you pick up common slang used by different age groups and regions.
I see. So, the first step is listening and paying attention to how people speak. Do you think it's important to memorize slang expressions, or should I focus more on understanding their usage?
It's definitely more important to understand the usage. Slang is often situational, so memorizing it without knowing when to use it might not be as effective. For example, lit means something is exciting or great, but if you use it in a formal setting, it might sound out of place. Focus on the context where these slang words are used and try to mimic them in your own conversations. Over time, you'll develop a sense of when and how to use them.
That makes sense. What about phrases like "what's up" or "how's it going"? Do they have specific meanings or just general greetings?
Those are casual greetings, but their meanings can vary based on tone and context. "What's up" is really informal, often used between friends, and it's more about showing interest than asking for actual information. "How's it going" is a similar casual greeting, but it can sometimes imply a deeper connection depending on the tone. Both are versatile, and they show a level of comfort between speakers. You can use them almost like "hello," but they sound much more relaxed.
I get it. So these phrases are more about building rapport than asking direct questions. How about expressions like "hang in there" or "you nailed it"? Are they just encouragements?
Yes, both are forms of encouragement, but they have different connotations. "Hang in there" is often used when someone is going through a tough time. It's a way to say, "Don't give up, things will get better." "You nailed it" is a more positive and celebratory phrase used to praise someone for doing something perfectly. These kinds of expressions can help create a supportive atmosphere in conversations, making them more dynamic and less formal.
Got it. So, how can I use these expressions in a conversation with a friend? For example, if my friend is struggling with something, could I just say "hang in there"?
Exactly. If your friend is facing a challenge, "hang in there" would be a perfect way to show empathy. You could also say something like "you've got this," or "keep pushing, you're almost there." All of these are encouraging phrases that help your friend feel supported. It's not just about the words, but the way you deliver them. Tone and body language can make a big difference.
That's a good point. So, tone really affects how the message is received. What about if I want to express excitement or surprise? Are there any common phrases for that?
Absolutely. If you want to express excitement or surprise, you can use phrases like "no way" or "you're kidding" for disbelief, or "that's awesome" and "I can't believe it" for excitement. "Mind-blowing" is another one for something that's incredibly impressive or surprising. These phrases are all very casual and show that you're genuinely engaged in the conversation.
These sound great. I think I've heard "that's lit" quite often. Can you explain when it's appropriate to use it?
That's lit is used to describe something that's exciting, fun, or excellent. It's very popular among younger people. For example, if you're at a concert or a party, you might say, "This party is lit." But keep in mind, it's not appropriate for formal settings. It's more for casual, upbeat conversations with friends or peers. You could also use lit to describe something like a movie or a performance that really impressed you.
Ah, I see. So, I should avoid using it in more formal conversations, like at work or with strangers. That makes sense. What about when I want to sound less enthusiastic, like expressing something mildly interesting?
In that case, you could use phrases like "it's all right," or "not bad," or even "that's cool." These expressions show that you're not overly excited, but you're still engaged. "It's whatever" is another way to express indifference, though it's more casual and can imply you're not too invested in the outcome. It's perfect for when you don't want to seem too emotional about something.
That's really helpful. Now, how about when I'm talking to someone I don't know well, like a colleague or a neighbor? Should I avoid slang in those situations?
When speaking to someone you don't know well, it's better to keep it neutral. Simple greetings like "how's it going?" or "how have you been?" are perfectly fine. However, avoid using heavy slang or phrases that might sound too familiar, like "what's up?" or "that's lit." It's better to stay on the safer side until you gauge the person's communication style and comfort level.
That makes sense. I've been using "what's up" a lot, so I'll have to tone it down with colleagues. Are there any phrases that work in almost any situation?
Yes, "I see" and "interesting" are great versatile phrases that can be used in a wide variety of contexts. They're neutral, but they show you're actively engaged in a conversation. Also, "that's true" or "I agree" are great for expressing understanding without overdoing it. They can be used in both formal and casual conversations, so they're safe choices.
Great, I'll start practicing those. One last question: how can I transition smoothly between topics without sounding awkward in casual conversations?
Good question, Andy. A smooth transition can make your conversations flow better. You can use phrases like "speaking of that" or "by the way" to shift gears. These are great for changing the subject without making it feel abrupt. Another way is to connect your current topic to the new one by saying something like "that reminds me of," or "it's similar to when." These subtle transitions keep the conversation going without any awkward pauses.
Those are really useful. I feel like I have a lot to work on now. Thanks for all the great tips, teacher. I'll definitely start practicing.
You're very welcome, Andy. Just remember, the key to mastering slang and casual expressions is practice and observation. The more you immerse yourself in real conversations, the more natural it will feel. Keep it up and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every conversation is a learning experience.
Thanks again. I'm excited to improve my English skills with these tips.
I'm glad to hear that, Andy. Keep practicing, and soon you'll feel much more confident in using these expressions. You've got this.
I'll definitely keep at it. I've learned a lot today. Thank you for being so detailed.
You're very welcome. The more you expose yourself to these expressions, the more comfortable they'll feel. Enjoy your journey to mastering spoken English.
The core value of this conversation lies in the practical guidance Andy receives on using colloquial English in different settings. By focusing on understanding the usage of phrases rather than memorizing them, Andy gains a deeper awareness of how to navigate between informal and formal conversations. The teacher emphasizes the importance of tone and body language in delivering casual expressions naturally, as well as the need to observe real-life conversations to understand when and how to use slang appropriately. With these tips, Andy now has a solid foundation to practice casual English expressions confidently, knowing how to switch between different levels of formality, depending on the situation. The conversation not only enriches Andy's vocabulary, but also gives him the tools to make his spoken English more fluid and engaging.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.